Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about peaking at the right time. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and subscribe button. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the Dot Richardson Show. Sorry for the delay. It's been a while since I've done a podcast. A lot has been going on with my mom. She's had a serious injury and was with her and my entire family and the focus there. But you guys, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for all of your prayers. They're being answered. She's a fighter. She has a long road ahead of her, but she knows she's not alone. So I'm excited to be back with you. Well, I thought about this topic because I talked at the National Fast Twitch Coaches Association about it. And I realized that this topic is not just about coaching. It's not just about teams in sports, but it's also about life. It's about business, corporations. A lot of things can be learned from this, and let's get to it. So when you talk about peaking at the right time, I like to say, how about improving every single day? Improving at the right time. What does that take to play your best or to be your best when your best is required? That's it. It doesn't matter about the past. You always you look at the past, but that's history. We got to look about how are we going to improve and have that drive to improve every single day and to help others do the same. Well, I can tell you what the formula is. It has to be purposeful, intentional. A commitment has to be made to it. It has to be prioritized. And above all, it has to be believed in. So we've talked about, do you have a passion of doing what you feel like you were born to do? And if that is the case, you got to believe it. And amazing thing is, and we've talked about this before, you have to believe it so strongly that even when so many others do not believe and have doubt, that doesn't creep into you and have you these negative thoughts or thinking that I'm afraid to fail or it can never happen. No, you have to believe it. And when you look at achieving anything, whether it's in sport, whether it's in business, it's in life, it all has to do with, do you feel that you are doing what you're born to do, but also are you committed to it and do you believe in it enough? Even when the others don't. So peaking at the right time, performing at the right time, it has to start with a vision, a mission, and then you have to develop a culture around you that is something that others embrace and that you are 100% behind. And the other is we got to talk about the mindset of doing it and how do you prepare for it and how do you get consistent doing it. And so for a vision statement, what do you declare? What is going to be the vision? For example, I'm coaching at Liberty University, it's a softball team, and the vision is to consistently be in the top 25 in the nation, to win championships. That's the vision, to win championships, our conference, regional, super regionals, and the World Series. And above all, to have a positive impact in the lives of those that the Lord brings to us through our Liberty softball program. That's an example of a vision. So what about a mission statement? What is that? Mission statement is more present day. What is the purpose for what you're doing? What is it that you're doing? Who does it serve? And how does it operate? Well, as an example, again, for Liberty softball, present day purpose is to develop players in our program to be the best that we can be in everything that we do. Strive for excellence. So what it does, we compete at the highest level of NCAA Division I softball. Another example is, who do we serve? The people that God brings to us. That's from staff, student athletes, from fans. and how it operates for us, God first leadership with servant hearts. So with whatever you're doing, the question is, what is your vision and how are you going to get there? And what is your mission? What is it? Well, I say let's know where we're going and work together, bring people together to work together for those goals. So, what direction are you heading? And the question is, are you all in? And are those around you all in? So what does it start with? It starts with you. Leaders, your leadership. It starts with you. Have the vision, have that mission, and see how you can bring others to embrace it with you. You must believe. You must demonstrate that belief to others. It needs to be unwavering. So your entire staff, no matter what, business, whether it's in sport, your entire staff, you need to surround yourself with those who are believing in the same vision and the mission and are going to be all in just like you. So when you're choosing people to surround yourself with, choose people like-minded, but also choose people that complement your weaknesses. Does that make any sense? Well, it does to me because I can't do it all and I'm not perfect. And that's one of the most difficult things to focus on is when people are like, I have to be perfect. No, you don't. People need to know that you care about them, that you believe in what you are doing, and hire those people around you that are going to believe in that as well, but complement you to make the whole leadership team stronger. The business that you're doing, the team you might be coaching, that help make it stronger. So when I look at my coaching staff, I have to hire the right people, and I have. They're on board with my vision and my mission, and they're loyal and they're trustworthy. That's important. And they must complement the weaknesses, which they definitely do because I have many weaknesses. And the other thing is let them feel some ownership in your business, in your organization, with your team if you're coaching. Let your assistants, let your leadership team feel a part of what you're doing because that gives them an ownership and a believing of belonging to something that's real for them. They're more invested in it because of it. And we all have to be united. You have to be united. And if you're not, there's something that's called addition by subtraction. Sometimes we hire people or we surround ourselves with people because we're just kind of hoping things work out, or we have to actually look at somebody and put their gifts and their talents in the right role. I hope that makes sense to you because for me, it makes a lot of sense. Like if I put someone and their talent is not in that area of that leadership or whatever the role might be on a team or in an organization, I'm putting them in a situation to fail. So know what you need and go seek it and don't settle. Find those people that will enhance you, help the leadership of your organization and your team. And the other is the whole program so that you can achieve the vision and work the mission. The other thing is listen to their ideas. Yeah, because sometimes we think only our ideas are the right ideas. So my thought in this regard, you guys, is that people will look in your organization and they'll look and say, by whether it's a head coach, a CEO, whoever it might be, they're going to look at who you hire because that says a lot about it. And there has to be really good communication. And you can't be afraid to have open discussions and disagreements. It has to be a safe environment. And then ultimately, though, you have to be in one accord when the final decision is made. So all eyes are on you. As you guys are doing your passion, whether it's an organization from Travel Ball, whether it's a business that you have started from the ground up, all eyes are going to be on you. So they see what you prioritize, the staff, recruiting, your values, the company or your team absolutes or standard of behaviors. But above all, they're going to look at your actions, and what you accept and what you tolerate. You are the leader. So hold the standard. And I pray it's a high standard. And that by doing that, then you're saying, I expect all of you also to hold that high standard. You need to behave the way that you want your workers, your team to behave. Actions speak louder than words. I've always said talk is cheap. Whenever I have some interviews, particularly talking about our team, and it's very hard for me, it's easy to talk about the team, but when they're asking about predictions or this and that, I'm so excited about our teams and the vision that I know I can see where they're going to go. But the reality is, I tell them all, talk is cheap, right? We have to prove it. But that's fun. Isn't it awesome when people doubt, but you still believe, and you're able to put it all together and achieve it? And then all of a sudden the world looks and says, wow, isn't that inspiring? Isn't it inspiring when you're able to help lift everybody up to a point where they believe how amazing each and every one of them are, and then to bring them together united as a team? Corporation, it's the same thing in a business. It's the same thing with sport teams. Can we bring all of us together with a common goal, with each and every person realizing that they are so bought in that each one individually refuses to be the weakest link at the team, and that every player wants every single person or colleague to be the best that they can be, that you've gotten rid of the jealousy or the apathetic, lackadaisical laziness that sometimes comes into play. But who stops all that? You as a leader. Hold the standard. Let them know what the standard is and hold them to it, because that's what they want. Always keep your sights on your vision and your mission. Value it. Prioritize it. And others will too. Trust me. Think about creating it, planning it, developing it, enforcing it, and preserving it. Oh, yeah. So when you talk about a culture of your business or a culture of your organization or your team, it's one of the most important ingredients for a program or a business's success to achieve their vision. So it can make or break a team. It can make or break a season. It can even make a program. It can even be the downfall of businesses and corporations. So we talked about addition by subtraction. What is your way? It must be well-defined. At Liberty University, the Liberty Way. Everybody knows it. Define it. And make sure that it is not only just determined, but it is how everyone who's a part of what you're doing is bought into seeing it in their actions and how they train and compete and conduct themselves. It's essential. So it begins with trust, a culture, whatever that might be, whatever it is, a culture of success, being the best that you can be in every single situation that you're being given. That is something learned. It is something that has to be believed in, and it has to be trusted. So begins with trust, built on trust, and sustained with trust. So people working for you, people are part of what you're doing, they must trust you. So be trustworthy. There are a lot of different cultures out there. There are 8 different kinds that have been described. Corrosive, the country club, congenial, the comfortable, the cutthroat, the constructive, the competitive, or the championship mindset. Do you want the championship mindset? What is it? Just imagine that you're running a business or an organization, a program that's highly productive, passionate, purposeful, positive, and people-centered. You've heard it. People don't really care what you know until they know how much you care. So we try as leaders to be perfect. And the reality is, what's perfection is when everybody knows that you're able to recognize and admit when you're wrong, or when things aren't going right, be able to redirect things, that you care about others and you care about them. And when you do, God, they're going to care so much back at you as well. So this culture, imagine consistently works hard every single day, that they want to, not because they have to. Imagine that. How about a culture where everyone is fully engaged and committed to the goals? How about they take immense pride in representing your company, your team, your business, whatever it might be, and that they are passionate about doing what they do and they want to make a difference in the lives of other people doing it? How about they take responsibility? Interesting, right? Boy, that's a big one. A lot of times you'll be with others that just want to keep making excuses, or they're afraid to really be who they want to be. How about they hold each other accountable? Do people care enough about your standards, your policies, your what your vision and your mission is? Do they care enough about it that they're going to preserve it? And this is big when you look at particularly teams, sport teams. It's like, well, I want this person to like me. I want this teammate to like me. But yet, she's breaking the rules. So wouldn't it be great to have an organization, a team, that basically the players will say, I care more about the culture of the team over this individual who doesn't obviously care about it? When you start getting to that position, boy, you're really moving up. You're moving forward. How about having a culture where people are led by credible, competitive, and caring leaders? Be those leaders. Another thing is, are we challenging ourselves? Are we just going through the motions? Do you support each other? Is there a burning desire to achieve? Boy, I mean, in a healthy competition. In sport, you see that all the time. You have only 9 that can be on the field. And in the sport of softball, you can have 10 with a pitcher being hit for, or someone being hit for as a DP. So you can only have 10, but yet you have a roster size, 15, 20, 30 players. So how do you bring everybody all together? Well, it's because they know you care about them. They all have had this chance to compete in a healthy, competitive environment because you have helped develop that. You have let them know about it. You're talking to them about it. You're having communication of where each and every one of your employees or your colleagues, or in this situation, we're talking about sport players, know what their role is, but also know the roles can be changing, but that they've had a chance right now as we begin the season coming up, that guess what? This is where it is. This is what your role is. So invest in your role, know what your role is, and embrace it. How do we build that unbreakable sense of unity and chemistry? How do we build a program that always expects to succeed, to win? Well, it all becomes a part of when all of them realize that it's bigger than them, right? Like the team and their values, it's bigger than just 1 or 2 or 3 people. And they realize it's a bigger moment. They see the plan is happening in action. They see that you are committed to it as a leader, and they learn to care about others more than themselves. Whoa. They learn to care more about others on their team or in the corporation than their own performances. That's how you build a team. They see themselves and the team improving and coming together. Oh, when that happens, it is so awesome to see. They give more and are invested more because they care more. Be the leader that shows. how much you care and how much they can care for each other and hold each other accountable. And there's no need to make excuses because they're playing for each other. And for us, man, I'm just telling you, when you recognize that God has given you gifts and opportunities and you feel that what you're doing, you're born to do, and you have this peace about it that he promises you'll have when you're doing his will and his calling, when you are able to do that, when you're able to help others recognize that people don't define them, the sport doesn't define them, their role in businesses, corporations, it doesn't define who they are. It's just an avenue for them to be able to use the gifts and the talents God's given them to glorify him through all that you say and do. Everything else will take care of itself. And I always thought, here's the most amazing thing when you know you've gotten to a championship culture, that people believe to the point that they will not only hold themselves to a higher standard, but are willing to hold others more accountable in order to preserve those standards and that culture. We talk about peaking at the right time. We talk about performance at the right time to give your best when your best is needed. When you do it right, everyone wants to be a part of it. Everyone will commit to it. And everyone will work to preserve it. They're believing because it's believable. You're achieving it. So, in closing, I just want to talk about this. What are the characteristics of the best of the best? John Gordon summarized this, and I just want to share it. The best know what they truly want. Do you know what you truly want? The best want it more. They want it more. The best are always striving to get better. Are you striving to get better every single day? Every single action that you have, everything that's on your plate, the to-do list, whatever you're doing, are you just going through the motions or are you striving every day to get better? Do you do the ordinary things better than everyone else? I tell others, just especially my team, do the ordinary things and extraordinary things will happen. But boy, sometimes we just try and do the extraordinary things and we forget to do the simple things that add up in big ways to make you more successful. The best, they know how to zoom focus. As I'm looking at a camera right now, I look at the lens and how we're able to focus. Can you have that lens in your life to where you're zoom focusing on the vision, the mission, your goal, whatever it might be? And there'll be distractions, but all of a sudden, bam, you can zoom right back at it. Guess what? People want to distract you. Your competitors want you to fail. But man, when you can zoom focus and play with a sense of freedom because nothing else is distracting you, that's what the best do. The best are mentally stronger. We talked about the mindsets. You're mentally stronger. And I believe to achieve that because you realize nothing really defines you, that the talents you've been given are meant to be shared, and you play and perform with such freedom because you feel alive doing it. For me, feeling the Lord's presence doing it. The best overcome their fears. What are you afraid of? Some are afraid of failure. Well, why? If we don't fail, then how are we going to get better? How are we going to learn? There's a saying you might hear, you're not a loser if you learn, right? Learn from your losses. You're not a failure when you fail. That's just a part of life. It's a part of challenging yourself. If you always play it safe and you don't go out there, then guess what? You're never really going to know all that you could possibly achieve and all that you can possibly be. The best seize the moments. Are you prepared for those moments? We talked about when I was a Batgirl and how I was able to practice with the Orlando Rebels. I mean, it was amazing. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 9 o'clock. I even remember it. It was spring training. And I was learning from them. I was soaking it up. And all of a sudden, one game, the Orlando Rebels were beating an Alabama team 10-0. And the head coach, Marge Ricker, said, Dot, as a back girl, Dot, get into the game. And I got up to the plate. I got a base hit with a runner on second. She rounded third, scored. I got an RBI at first base. Marge gives me a steal. I stole second. Next batter gets a base hit around third, and I score a run. And in right field, I got a routine fly ball, no big deal. And then with 2 outs, I got a line shot. One hopper scooped it up and threw the opponent out at first base to end the game. Because of that performance, the next year, I was invited to be an Orlando Rebel and become the youngest girl in history to play in women's major ball. Are you prepared for those opportunities? And don't make the opportunity so big. Why? Because you have prepared. I love what my mom always said. She who fails to prepare prepares to fail. So the ingredients, the formula is prepare. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Prepare yourself for the moments. And the best, want to leave a legacy. When you're building a business, when you're building an organization, when you are building a program, when you're building a team, when you are a part of a team, no matter what it is and what area of life it is, are you wanting to leave a legacy? Are you wanting to achieve to the point where something will last beyond you, where others will want to be a part of it because you've been a part of being the first, right? You've been a part of being a legacy in that program that so many others will look up to and will want to keep building on. That is how you build a legacy. The best make everyone around them better. Are you making people better? Is that something you want to do? Are you connecting with others and know how you can help to influence them to not just be good, but to be great? And the best, tap into a greater power than themselves. Recognize God has given you these talents and opportunities. And don't be afraid to achieve them. You guys, I pray that you are inspired by this conversation that we're having to the point where you realize, yeah, I am inspired to use the gifts that I've been given. I want to be the best of the best. That I am going to be prepared to perform and to peak at the right time, the right moment. Why? Because I'm prepared and I'm doing what I love to do. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Dot Richardson Show. It's so great. And again, make sure you push the like and the share and the subscribe buttons. And I cannot wait for our next podcast together. You guys are amazing. Have a great one. God bless each and every one of you. And until then, recognize your power and your purpose.